me. Welcome to the reality after show Survivor 43 finale. I am completely flabbergasted. We got with the whole crew tonight: Dan, Alex, Johnny. Initial
You're Matt
thoughts.
Bischoff for those listening.
Wearing my outfit that Johnny and I, one of the greatest days of 2022, the day we got this shit.
Real quick, the final immunity challenge, you had to stack 15 bowls, and if you smoked 14 bowls, it still wasn't up to palate a Gabler.
Let me just say this before we went live, we were all just discussing like the chaos of this. Like I was at my doctor this morning, first thing, and they're all in a survivor pool. And the one lady that was doing my blood work, she's like, I got Gabler in the final. Like, what do you think? Do you think he has any chance of winning? I said, he has 0. You might as well buy the other chick coffee the rest of the week, because that's what the winning was. I like, there is no possible way Gabler is winning. But then I said this. I said, however, I'm always wrong on the podcast. I might just quit podcasting, because the whole season I said the Gabler. I mean, Alex and I were joking when Johnny was at the party. He's like, no way this dude has a chance of winning. So I don't even know how I feel
hiding in plain sight. Literally hiding in plain sight. The alligabler.
And one vote away from the third time a perfect game ever happened on Survivor?
A perfect game.
He'd be sitting there with Cochran at fourth time. JT, Jeremy Collins.
I want to say something that's going to be controversial, because my wife asked me this right before I came down here. So Gabler says, I'm giving the money to charity, which I didn't think originally you were able to do.
Yeah, no, you can.
Okay, so here's the deal.
You can't conspire to share, but you can do whatever you want with the money. I mean, but Gabler, keep in mind, you have to pay taxes on $1 million. So if you want to give away $1 million, then I hope you have $400,000 to pay in taxes. But I mean, it is a write-off.
Here's what I think, though, and it's going to be unpopular. I feel I'm all about charity stuff. Hearts of Reality just raised $500,000 through these reality stars for an amazing cause. Johnny, you and I have spoke before about the $1 million. The $1 million is designed to literally change.
Well, that's what we believe. Someone like Russell Hance does not believe that.
To change somebody's life, right? And it's like,
and further, Gabler only said it. That doesn't mean he has to do it. I mean,
apparently they're they're like salivating at signing that check for charity.
I mean, it's honorable and cool, right? I'm not saying it's honorable and cool, but I believe that if I am on the jury, I would give the money to someone else, like Owen or
I'm not giving the money to someone giving it to charity.
Here's the thing. We don't know if he ever actually even said it during the final tribal. He said it in confessional.
Or to anyone else. We just have it in a confessional and nothing else. Right. And he may have said it to them and didn't have to mean it.
We're probably missing what's going on the TVs behind Dan and Alex.
I don't care what they say in the after.
There's nothing that can justify what we just watched.
Because here's the thing. I feel like this. I feel like you give it to someone that's really going to change your individual lives. And then collectively, we all do stuff for anyone that plays Survivor does a lot of charity stuff.
If I won the $1 million, I would make a sizable donation to give kids mobility.
100%.
Yes. No, not 100%.
No.
No. I mean, 100%. I would give them 100%. I just want to clarify that.
I thought Gabler was getting 1 vote. I thought, okay, they're showing Carla's vote. It's going to be Carla. It's going to be Gabler 1, Owen 0, Cassidy is what I thought. No. I am completely shocked that these people gave money.
I'm not. Did you see them during that final tribal? Anytime that Cassidy was giving good points about her game, that jury was biting for a chance to undermine her, undercut her. And then Owen was there. Like, that was their opinion of it. It was like, Owen is there.
Yep.
We're gonna
Yeah.
undercut
Oh,
Cassie because
Owen
she
never-
outplayed us and we're bitter.
Yeah,
And
it was a bitter jury, but Gabler had fun with it, whereas Owen should have said, "I'm not responsible for any of you being there." like I had nothing to do. Like you guys want to be bitter. I'm not responsible for any of you sitting there right now. So if you're bitter, I'm the one to reward your bitterness because Gabler was in on it, and Cassie brags about everything that she did. So that should have been Owen's play.
well,
But
I
yeah,
think the
no,
issue. I think the issue there was obviously Final Tribal is obviously a lot longer than what they show us on TV. I think that's fair to say, Johnny. You've been a part of one.
Yeah.
It's a lot longer. I think you can. I think you can.
Like my final tribal was, I want to say over 3 hours, and we essentially got 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like I think when you can read the vibe of the room as a tribal council is going on, and I think that they are giving Gabler softballs. They are all killing at the fact that all the answers that he gave had 4 words in them: Alla Gabler, Ellie vote, Ride or Die Alliance. That is the
Ride or
only
Die
things,
Alliance went far.
The fact that the pre-merge was actually being considered as a factor of your winning game for people that aren't even there.
Yeah.
Baffles my mind.
Yes. Real quick, we got a super chat from Catherine Allen. Thank you for the super chat. Everyone else, feel free to get your read the super chat.
41 exists.
Least satisfying ending ever. I hate Gabler. Listen,
41 exists.
I'm not the biggest Gabler fan. However, I was in such watching Owen and Cass's jaw wide open. I'm just like, me too. So I don't hate it as much as 41 or 42. This season was just so
here's
good.
the thing.
I agree with that.
Fair amazing, play. But this brings up a bigger point, and this is now it's actually a good thing in a sense that Gabler won, because it shows it's not just women's social games that Survivor doesn't know how to edit. They don't know how to solve the men's social game either. Because we're leaving these exits where everyone's saying they love Gabler. They loved him. They loved him on the island, loved working with him. We're not seeing that on the show. Over half the show was everyone saying he's a wild card, bull in a china shop. We can't trust him. We can't rely on him.
Yeah, and we can't even tell him the vote until 30 seconds before we leave because he'll botch it.
No, yeah, and I think this is also an FU to people that try to read into an edit. They're like, we're gonna surprise the hell out of you, because this whole finale is gonna be a hero song of how Cassie wins the game, only to get 1 vote and Gabler gets 7.
I was the most shocked probably at this winner. I don't know, but I agree.
I think in the history of the show, this is the most shocking winner.
It is.
I'm not that bad. I mean, I literally don't like this guy, and I'm not mad at it because it's just funny.
It's hilarious.
I didn't laugh at the end of 41.
No,
you did not.
I did not.
Well, actually, you weren't on the podcast. We did not. Yeah, this is the first season in a couple of seasons that you guys have both been on, so to actually live react. But it's crazy, It's like, but overall, broad strokes, no matter who was winning, loved the season. I think the 43 is the best version so far of this new format that Jeff is saying we're going to do forever.
But peek behind the curtain. I spoke over the weekend during Hearts of Reality with probably 20 people that have played either 41 or 42, and did not have this conversation with Marianne, who won 42. But out of the 20 people outside of Marianne, every single person regretted playing this new version of Survivor versus the Survivor that I played.
Well,
every single person.
I can agree to that, because I think one thing that also hurts players like Cassidy or players like Mike in 42 was with 26 days as opposed to a 39-day format. These players that are on the jury have a lot less time to actually like unwind, get out of like be in game mode, but not in game mode still, and sort of like truly dissect the game, truly think about what's going on, really take in what people are coming in 3 days later is 3 days later. Instead of 24 hours later, I got blindsided and I'm pissed. 24 hours later, I got blindsided and I'm pissed. And it's like now you're gonna just take that all out on the person who survived.
All I remember is the last move because I didn't have time to digest an entire game.
Yeah, because like it. Well, Matt's gone.
He's not happy about Gabler.
But like that's the thing that like drives me to like. I don't want to say it's a bitter jury, but from how they showed it, makes it feel like it's a bitter jury because it's almost like outside of James, who wasn't blindsided by Cassidy, everyone else is like, you're the only one left who can take ownership really of those moves. So we're punishing you. And we're going to give it to the guy whose only claim is to earn the merge vote. And like, credit to him. If you can play a game where you can go be just a number, never actually have to have your finger on the pulse, never having to have ownership over a move, get to the end, and they give you the million. Who are you to complain about that?
I think the Ride or Die Alliance got the win. And he was the surviving member of the Ride or Die Alliance. I think that's what it was.
It's just weird. It's just weird. And like, I feel like people are taking like fire into consideration when fire should not be any type of consideration.
No, I am so don't even get me started on fire. But
Carla asking about pre-merge. I'm like, why are you asking about pre-merge? Like, you're only asking that to set up Cassidy to fail because you just want to take ownership for your move. Which credit to you, you were a good player. But you here, let's talk about Final Five. She's talking about her being the underdog. She did it to herself. She at any glimpse of a moment would turn on her allies, vote them out, vote them out, vote them out. And then it's like, where are all my allies? Why am I on the bottom? I don't know. Maybe you voted them out.
You pick, it's like you got to keep somebody.
Right. It was like you turning on Cassie on a dime really was her ending move.
Yeah. I think a lot of people that left a bad taste in people's mouth turning on Cass.
Yeah. It's like, why? And then like there's people on like Reddit and Twitter already like bashing Cassie for saying she was playing and like being a role model for women, but they're like, she voted out the women. Guess what? All the women were targeting her.
Yeah.
Like, what's she supposed to do?
Yeah, she was the prettiest. That's how that works.
So my computer got screwed up, so I had to log out for a second. But Tessa just texted me. I don't know if you guys talked about this. Gabler just announced he's donating all to charity for veterans.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yep. He actually said it at 10:26.
Said it on
p.m.
On the Survivor, the official Survivor After Show. So anyone go to survivoraftershow.com, which will bring you right here.
But are we sure that he's not gonna like just pull his face off and it's just Ben? Ben did it again.
I don't know.
Did it for the troops.
Hold on. We have a.
Thank you.
We have a super chat here from Preston. Say something. Just a shout out, Preston Lindahl. Thank you for the super chat. Catherine Allen. Boom. Super chat's killing it tonight. I'm not the only one who cried when Jesse lost fire. I love this podcast and I'd rather be here. Jesse, I cried. I was just like, there's no way that, and Jeff is talking while he's making fire. And he's just like, even when he falls behind, never gets nervous, never shows it. I'm just like, he's shaking like a leaf. I'm just like, He's
literally looking at his knife going, I'm about to lose $1 million.
And his hands are doing this. And I'm just like, and he trying to make a spark and he's shaking like that. I'm just like, what are you watching, Jeff? He is showing fear and trepidation and the fact he's scared of subtracting $1 million from him and his family's life. He literally was showing it. I don't
Do you
know.
think Sia's going to give Jesse $100,000?
If she gives money again,
Yeah.
I think he's definitely in the running. And I mean, like, does CBS not do the fan favorite anymore? Is that dead?
I think
too?
that's
A lot's
Been done for a while.
Okay.
That's
I think
been
that
dead.
died after Rupert won.
And the last person that got the money from Sia is also a big reason why we never got exits from or deep dives from anyone after the season.
Oh yeah.
or
true.
Ponderosa. Ponderosa's dead because of Drea.
Yeah, there we go. So I had a Drea conversation over the weekend.
Very,
Oh.
very, very
And you
sad
made
that
that
Jesse-
exclusively on the Q&A on realitypatreon.com.
Oh,
does prove-
well, speaking. I mean, I peeked behind the crowd. So I was talking with Omer, and I was just like, okay, did I just make this up, or did you say in the know that you sat down to pee until you were 24 years old? And he was like, yeah, I said it. And I was like, that's what, like, how does no one remember? Well, I'm kind of glad they don't. But he said it was for the record. It was kind of a religious thing. Like he didn't have a choice. Like his family was just like, we don't stand up to Pete, like, so. And I was just like, yeah, it's still kind of weird. But I give a semi pass.
Yeah.
You guys don't remember that? Like, because everyone's just like, dude, there's no way. I'm just like, yes, he said it. And so it's like, did you say it? Oh yeah, I said it. So anyway, I had so that I may or may not have followed that conversation with the Drea conversation. So Omer's a really good guy.
Okay, Matt. They've heard us be shocked for about 16 minutes. Should you direct us to the beginning of the episode?
Oh, here we go.
I mean, Jesse, obviously, it's at the beginning, is like Jesse feels like a terrible person. Both idols are gone. Cody is gone, his best friend. And then Jesse has one more idol. And I'm like, oh, God, this is great news for Jesse. And I was so excited. And
I was excited for the recap of last week for the Jesse-Cody move. I'm just like, hey, like, I mean, it was a lot of people are calling it one of the biggest moves in Survivor history. I have it up there. I think it's one of the biggest moves and one of the most villainous moves in the history of Survivor. And that's something you should show again, and they did. So kudos to them for showing again. And he's like, it feels historic almost, and I'm like, it is, dude. It is.
Well, he still wants to downplay himself. That's why it's like he has proven. I feel. Well, I guess not, because people are still debating about it. But I'm like, you can be a villain and not be hated.
Yeah, well, he was not a fan of every time he did something villainous, they had to show him cry, and he was just like, "Gee," he goes, "I'm sorry, I'm emotional." He goes, "But one has nothing to do with the other, and if I'm doing something villainous, just let me be a villain. Don't take that villainy away from me by letting me cry right before that."
Well, it was like I kept saying to Matt last week. I was like, he's like Walter White. Like that's how they were trying to edit him. It was like he's doing these villainous things, but he's doing it for his family, for his children.
Sure, he's making blue crystal meth, but it's for his family. It's okay.
Yeah, but this time he was making red and yellow. It was really weird.
Yeah.
So do you like how they go to a new beach here? Like it's like the game is going to be harder for the next few days. We're going to throw you on a new island.
Because we saw them. So the people that won the last reward on the last episode, they went to eat, the pastries or whatever, pastries, coffee, and tea. And while that was happening, we saw the losers finish the rice. They're just, well, we're going to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's as if production told them, hey, you might as well finish your rice because you're going to be here tomorrow and you're going to be on a new beach.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's also just like, for me, it's sort of what's the point? Like, you moving location so far in these 3 seasons, from what we can see, no impact on the game. It's just, zero let's send you to a different beach for the lulz.
Well, you know what that beach is? It's the beach with the
two heads.
With the rock. with the Robin Sandra statues.
Yes.
That's the beat because Sandra immediately is like, that's my beach. So real quick, super chat, Preston Lindahl. This time he has a comment. Feel like Cassidy deserved it.
Oh, you're not wrong.
I feel like everyone that watched the episode really felt that way.
Well, I know a couple of specialists who are loving the fact that they were right. That there's been podcasts that have been hammering home. Part of it as a meme, but then it became real to them that Gabler was winning.
The specialists were picking this Gabler?
Yeah.
Wow. Really? Oh,
yeah, for a long time this season. And I kept having debates with Phil about it. I'm like, you're crazy. Like, that's not what they're showing. They're showing him being a third place zero-vote finalist.
There's no way. That's like Mertz Jaffer saying, I got the boot order like 18 boot orders correct. And I'm just like, there's no way you get 18 boot orders correct in order unless you have a spoiler list. There's no picking Gabler other than family members, and half of them aren't even doing it.
But it's funny because I think this was the season, because I've seen people complain about it, which I don't know why, because they made this season so much more fun to watch live, was there was no reliable spoilers out there for people.
No.
All the people that were trying to find it could not find shit.
No, even Jim Hurley from Survivor Whispers thought it was either Jesse or Cassidy.
Yeah, well, they made a pact not to spoil it. The cast collectively.
Yeah, I know. We were on one of the betting sites for the longest time. It had Cody as the highest odds of winning it up until 2 weeks ago.
Well, according to all the media, that was true.
Now, I want to ask you guys this, though, just pausing for a second. Like, overall, as a viewer, like, the beginning of this season, I was not real excited about. Like, I like the players. The season was kind of at first. Then it started
because really they got rid of the dead weight in the first half.
But
that worked against you liking it initially.
Yes, but it's been a strong finish for me. I really was entertained by this finale and last week's episode. The finale was, I thought, really entertaining and fun to watch tonight, and super shocking. And I as much as, like you said, Johnny, like, it's just comical that Gabler won. And I like the fact that it seemed to me originally like so obvious that Cassidy was going to win. And when she didn't, I was like, wow, like, maybe everyone doesn't know. Maybe there can be a different style of player winning Survivor. Because honestly,
and honestly, we're better off for that. Like,
yeah,
who's the other comparable to Mike Gabler is, like, it just turns of who you are.
Fabio.
It's weird because he's Fabio and Bob Crowley.
Yeah.
Dan, bring the heat.
I saw Bob Crowley this weekend. Bob Crowley grows a lot of weed. You know that?
Matt,
he
you
looks
said
like
bring
someone
the
who
heat.
would.
Yeah, I want to hear Dan. I had to jump off and restart my computer. Dan, you can't stand this scenario. You're like, I'm going to be the one negative guy tonight.
I absolutely hated it. And yes, is it better than 41 and 42? Yes, but that is such a low bar. Like, I think we deserve so much better than this. And this is the ending that we get. Like, even just, you were talking about, at the end, the jurors, they were lobbing up softballs to Gabler. And it's like, thank you for owning up to your game. What game? He didn't do anything. Like,
Who did more?
Stand it.
Who did more? Chris Underwood living off the beach for the whole time, coming back in and winning, or Gabler?
He was a representative Chris Underwood was a representative for a flawed concept.
Mm-hmm. Give me Chris Underwood.
Whoever went
monster.
back and did. Sorry, Dan. Sorry, Dan.
I said, give me Chris Underwood and his blue-headed monster.
Nope.
Yeah.
So, then is Jeff Probst devastated that Gabler won, or is he happy about it?
I think he's ecstatic over giving the money away.
Yeah.
Like, if this is the first in Survivor,
but
it's a great story.
It is.
But like Dan said, going into the season, we always get the leaks about what was production or Jeff's thoughts on the season, and he wasn't as high on this one as he was for 42. But which is funny
because he was wrong.
Well, yeah, it's like the edit, for the most part, like there's problems with the edit, but the edit overall throughout the show was very good. The cast was very good. There was less tools in the game, which allowed the players to not only manipulate the tools that were out there, but let them own the screen time and not the advantages. Like there's so many good things that came from this. I am willing to accept a funny winner.
I was okay with the edit up until we got down to the final 3, because then it was just, where is their story? And I know that's been a big issue the past few seasons, but okay, so then it seemed like they were trying to give Cassidy a story this episode, but where was their story the rest of the season? Where was Owen's story? Where was Gabler's story for what, a 4-episode stretch where you barely saw him?
Owen's story was the fact that he was on the wrong side of the vote. Cassie's story... Oh, sorry.
Yeah. We got the story. So, like, Gabler didn't do anything. Like, they're not going to show something that wasn't there. I mean, we were told, and it's not a secret, that basically Gabler hid in plain sight, and then 30 seconds before they left to go to trial, Jesse-Cody would walk over and tell him who to vote for, so he didn't botch it. They would have to tell him right before, and that's it. That's all he did. Well, they're rewarding the ride or die alliance, is what they're doing.
They're rewarding the ride or die.
Told that story. He was part of. I mean, like, he told us he was part of that alliance. They didn't really, but he did, and I'm just like, I guess he wasn't lying.
Well, like, and this goes back to my point of, he didn't do anything that the editors feel that they can show, because once again, their biggest roadblock is showing what a social game is. They can only show a social game when it comes to like, oh, we can do this flashy montage of how Jesse gathers the votes to blindside someone, but they can't actually show, this is how I made like personal relationships and like deep bonds with people, deep connections with people. The only time we got that from Gabler was the first episode where he bonded over metal music with Ellie. But we never got that type of scene again from him.
Well, actually, we did tonight.
He flipped the Metallica switch. He got a metal.
No, but he said that in the montage. Oh man.
All right, here I said I wasn't gonna read anything but super chats, but Stone Popper, if you need to super chat this, but I'll read it anyway. Stone Popper Church says Jesse's kids not having a Merry Christmas. Actually, December 28th, Uncle Johnny and Aunt Jessica are taking Jesse and get that money, baby. His son, we're taking him to WWE at the Greensboro Coliseum December 28th.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
So it will be a Merry Christmas for Jesse's. Well, at least one of them. Not the girl. You gotta be a wrestling fan. Sorry. I mean, I can only do what I can do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I got Bluey tickets, but I mean, they're expensive. These WWE, they're comps.
Oh man. Well, so I love the montage that they give us at the beginning of the episode. I like that it's not Jeff directing it. It's just they immediately just go straight into the players. Mm-hmm. Each of them like doing the pitch. You get the tribal music, this montage, I'm gonna go all Metallica. And hey, he called his shot. He went full Metallica.
But yeah, I enjoyed that. It's real dramatic, and I think with the slow motion, they make it the finale's always entertaining and cool to watch. So I love this.
And getting to the new island, you had Gabler as your tour guide going. There's a coconut. There's a tree. There's a couple blades of grass. There's sand there. I mean, just think if Gabler wasn't there, they would have known of none of these things: the stick, the coconut, the 3 blades of grass, sand.
Okay, I'm getting annoyed again because his story, this whole episode, this 2-hour finale was I'm depleted of food.
Yes,
I'm depleted of food.
Yes.
I'm annoyed.
Here we go. Amy, another super chat. Thank you, Amy R, for all my comments you've read for free. Oh, thank you.
So real quick, do you think the mass majority of fans watching this are pissed about Gabler?
I don't think
absolutely.
So. I think you're going to have a really weird mixed reaction Like you're gonna have people
Oh,
that are
really?
like very excited that Gabler won
The
because they
eyes-
love the goofball winning.
So I have, a lot of my, friends that I've known for years aren't the biggest Survivor fans. There's some casuals in there or not. And every once in a while when it comes on, they know I watch, they know about the podcast. And every once in a while I'll get a text here or there. No, I've gotten like 10 tonight being like, what the F was that?
I mean, based off the edit, I don't blame them.
That makes me so happy. It was of mice and men. Who knew?
We were
Gabler
going
was
into
like
final
Lenny.
tribal. My text groups were like, "There's only one bad scenario for us," and then Gabler wins. Like, that was the one.
That was the one. Thank you. Another super chat. You guys are killing it tonight. Preston does. Gabler played a underdog Sarah Lucina game. That's the cruelest thing anyone's ever said about Sarah Lucina.
Are,
To put them in the
are we
same
talking about
sentence.
her Challenge USA game and not her Survivor game?
I was about to say we said some pretty mean things about her LGA gameplay, but that,
Hey, we still have
that
the
was-
World Championships to talk about later. We don't know what
Oh
happens
my-
there.
So
But
we
she's
go to
there.
going back to where we're at in the episode. We go to Tree Mail, and everyone gets a pouch that has
Yeah.
this deal that's like an advantage in this.
Well,
this
it's a
challenge.
word scramble that must be unscrambled every word, and
Yep.
then you can sprint to the hidden advantage, which always doesn't mean diddly squat. And this season's no different.
Nope.
Nope.
Like
Yes.
honestly, I would be the three people who never solved it. I wouldn't even try. I'll just be like, so
Yeah.
how's the weather's pretty good today, guys. One of the words is sprint. Remember when sprint was an advertiser for Survivor? I do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sprint
They
fan
used to-
favorite.
You get the calls from home.
Mhm.
Can you not call home because of COVID? Is that what? Jeez, come on.
Oh,
No loved
man.
ones.
No loved
I
ones.
We're
hate
done with
that.
we're done. We don't
Yep.
get we don't get the rites of passage, which a lot of people do. Like, you're wrong. It's great. I love it. We don't get the food auction, which it's Jeff said you can't do it anymore because it's been manipulated. Go watch Australia's Survivor or Survivor South Africa. You can do it. And we don't get the loved ones anymore. But we
And
can't even a phone from Sprint or even a text on your T-Mobile Sidekick.
And like,
Dude.
and I know like the after show and reunions never really like a big thing anymore, but like everyone who doesn't make the jury doesn't get to have that moment. They don't get to have that
Well,
last moment anymore.
My good friend Matt Bischoff couldn't even sit on stage. So I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I
could be
know
worse.
at least they do have it worse than I did. Finally, but
finally, someone has it worse than Matt.
they do. But I literally, yes, as much as like I would get annoyed about some little kid in the audience getting a question when the people that were in the game aren't getting questions, or someone promoting some dumb movie that's going to do terrible.
Oh,
I do miss-
Tyler Perry destroying the game with the ridiculous suggestions of how to make the game better, but never does.
Yeah, I do miss the live after show, and I miss the family visit. The family visit, we're just like that was always historically, personally for me, one of my favorite things in American
same.
Survivor.
One of the best moves
Yeah,
ever
it's-
in the game of
Hey.
Survivor never happens without it.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of made me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. And then we even see how Australian Survivor does it in a beautiful manner.
Ugh.
Where you're
It's
just-
almost cruel. Like it is beautiful. It is as it is on one hand. On the other, it's cruel. I mean, like you have your loved one to sit there watch you in that final immunity battle, which is all the inspiration in the world you could ever hope for. But to lose in front of your family and loved ones is the cruelest thing you could ever do to someone.
I mean,
Yeah,
don't
imagine
you-
bringing Cassie's and Owen's family in to watch Gabler win.
To watch it, they would have been like, "Did this guy play an amazing game?" They're like, "No, did you see our open mouth? Yeah, we meant it. He sucked."
Wow.
Like the
But you-
open mouth is, I mean, the fact that they captured that
They got blindsided at Final Tribal.
The biggest blind side of the season was not Jesse-Cody. It was the reading of the votes.
And it made sense for Owen, but not Cassidy.
Yeah.
I demand a recount.
But
Stop
so
the vote.
going back to the tree mail thing, the word scramble, Carla gets the clue deal right ahead of Owen. Owen was like 2 seconds away. Owen is like he says, I was the most pissed I ever was. I threw a rock in the ocean and I like punched something. I thought his reaction
You know what? He was chopping at that coconut very aggressively.
He was.
I love the fact that Carla grabs it right before him, and I literally wrote, Carla pulls the football advantage out from Charlie Brown Owen's foot, and 1 second later he goes, they Charlie Brown me again.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
Honestly, it should have been there where I realized he was going to be the 0 vote finalist. Like that's his story, is the football just constantly taken away from him.
Yes. So another super chat. Thank you guys. You guys are killing it tonight. Catherine Allen, glad I'm drinking. No offense to Gabler, but Jesse is my winner. I'll shut up now.
Gabler.
Gabler's back.
Dude.
What if Jeff had said winner of season 43? Gabler.
Well, and I think back because I was with, the two of you guys doing that cast assessment. I think we were all in agreement even back then before the season started. Gabler came up and I said it, 0 shot at winning this game. Like he has pre-merge boot written all over him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing I was wrong on, I said either him or Sammy would be the 0 vote finalist.
All I know what I've said is that I just said Gabler has 0 chance of winning.
Where does he live?
If
Idaho.
I know, because he never went to any of the Survivor viewing parties. So peek behind the curtain, people. Carla was at my New Jersey party. Jesse was at my North Carolina party. Once again, when I say that there's going to be a special, a surprise appearance or a special guest, that means it's someone from that season. Here's your clue. Finally gave it to you. I didn't think I needed to be that obvious.
So are people gathered in LA right now, Johnny?
They're all in LA except for two people, and I know one of them's Dwight because of college finals.
I think Gabler's the other one. I think today or yesterday he was in New York.
Okay, so they were all but Gabler, and they've all been flying across the country, hanging out with one another. Like I think Dwight, Carla, and Cody have been out to North Carolina to Jesse's. I think Noel's been there. I know Carla's been to see Noel and Boston. So they've all been going back and forth, seeing one another. And the only one that I never heard of a correspondence with is Gabler. So I think he just won and is planning on giving away the money and he's done.
Do you think he's going to be like a Lil Morris?
I think so.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I hope we're wrong, just like on the fact that we thought he wasn't going to win. Hopefully he's a badass. I mean, he loves metal and he has a beard and tattoos. That's kind of like we have that in common. Maybe he rules. Who knows? But
there's no way he rules. So real quick before we go to the next scene, there was a consumer cellular commercial with Romeo, and I got a chance to run into Romeo this weekend at Hearts Reality, and Romeo goes, I listened to the podcast, and I go, awesome. He goes, you literally said you hate everything about me. Not just you, everyone on your podcast. You all said you hated me. And I go, but you seem nice. So Romeo is awesome. I'm sure you're listening to this podcast as well. You are awesome. Look, we goof, we gotta pick someone to
we picked the winner this time.
yeah, we picked the winner. Yeah.
So hey, maybe future Survivor contestants, you want us to be digging on you because that means you're gonna get to the end.
Oh yeah, remember when Tori when Matt picked Tori to win and she wrote F you?
Oh yeah.
So. And I also remember someone getting really pissed at me because, like I said, if Erica wins season 41, I am never podcasting or never watching this show ever again. And someone was like, that's just because you're a male chauvinist or some stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
And
I mean, some of these jury people could make more of a claim to that than you could.
all I know
like
is
literally.
What Matt meant to say is if Erica wins season 41, then Lex Vandenberg will stop watching Survivor, and he has. So that's what he meant to say. So thank you for speaking on behalf of Lex Vandenberg, who is done watching Survivor because of the new version.
Oh my gosh. So we go to this immunity challenge / reward, which is steak, potatoes, vegetables, and wine. You have to put a buoy through some obstacles, transport some puzzle blocks over this balance beam kind of thing, and do a word puzzle. And Carla, she has her advantage, which is 1/3 of her block puzzle pieces are already at the puzzle making stations, which obviously, it didn't really do anything in the grand scheme of things. However, for some people, if you had someone that was really fast over the obstacles, I think it could have been a really, you know what I mean? Like,
She wasn't doing that bad on the obstacles.
No,
Yeah, I
like
guess
she
she
did very well, and she was the first one there. She had more time than anyone else. I think the puzzle is the great equalizer.
The great equalizer,
and like especially ones like this where it's like just a bunch of block letters. Like it's just it's like what Jeff said.
Mhm.
Once it clicks, but until then, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, because they were trying to spell
immunity, guaranteed,
advantage.
Gabler tried spelling immunity with a V.
Yep. Immunity.
Immunity.
Yes.
I was just happy that this time, because when they did do it in 41 and 42, if you got that advantage, it was pretty much you were winning the final 5 challenge. I was at least happy to see that, okay, it wasn't like a definite, you got the advantage, like, don't need to worry.
I love before they started, like it's high tide and they're sitting there and like Gabler's trying to get like a diving advantage, but like he's about and like Owen's like, hold the pole, Gabler. Just hold the pole. You're gonna go in the water, you moron. So he does, yeah. Jesse, big time struggling with the buoy, and Jeff once again reminding everyone that he has yet to win an individual challenge. I'm like, shut up.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So Jeff also reminds everyone multiple times he is only looking for the right words. So if you are constructing the wrong words, he does not want those. He only wants the right words.
Yes.
So and lastly, Cass on the balance beam, the camera guy was not our friend. You cannot hide in a dangerous game was the winning phrase, but you can hide if you're Cassidy walking on the balance beam from the camera.
Yep. Johnny is wanting those Australian Survivor shots that we love.
Oh my God. Give me Australian Survivor all day long.
But yeah, I love the fact that you hear this little bell, right? Like this little ding, like, because Jeff kept saying, like, when it comes to you, it's going to happen really quick. And then they show this click of Owen. It's like, ding. And then he like solves it really quick.
Yes. So as Cass says, Owen got redemption from earlier, when he wasn't quick on the draw like a horse named McGraw to find the advantage. So good for him. He wins the reward, which is steak, baked potato, and wine at the sanctuary. Man, they are getting a whole lot of use of that sanctuary, which is also known as the Applebee's crap house. So glad that got recycled during COVID. Yes. So, and he has the choice to bring anybody. Who is it?
Cassidy. And when they go to the sanctuary, they're sitting there, and they're good friends, I think. Owen feels like a king eating this steak, which, man, a steak feels so good. But I've been not eating that kind of stuff lately because of my stupid gout. But Owen's not worried about the gout. He's worried about just kind of talking it over. They talk about, okay, what are we going to do here? Carla is smart and she's tough and she's a badass, even with her like ankle injury and her stitches or whatever she has. Jesse is a mastermind, a fan favorite. Like, this dude is a total badass. So I do agree with that. I think that Carla was a pretty boss in this game. I really like Carla's gameplay.
She was great. Well, it's funny because Owen's like, I want Jesse out, and Cass is like, I want Carla out, and Owen goes, yeah, I'll go Carla because this is Owen's game. This is the game Owen has played the entire time. This is what I want to do. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Yeah, what you said is exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, dude. And then again, like we've heard this with as Dan was saying, like, you know, this whole Gabler win. Gabler, like so many confessionals, he's like, oh, I'm physically drained. I almost have nothing else in the tank anymore.
Well, no, he literally says right here, he goes, I really needed that stake to win this game. And if I could have gotten that stake, well, it doesn't matter. Either way, I can easily beat Owen and Cassidy in the final 3 to win this game. Easily is what he says. And I'm just like, this dude needs more than a stake. And apparently I'm wrong.
Yeah, we're all wrong.
And this is followed by Owen saying, I don't want to be a 0 vote finalist. Did everyone become a soothsayer on this last episode? Like fortunes are being read. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It is. It's insane.
I mean, like, I thought the only reason they showed Gabler saying he could easily beat Owen and Cassidy is to show that there is 0 way he could beat Owen and Cassidy.
Yeah.
Right. Like I felt as like if you're reading the edit, like Redmond on Twitter, it's like he does his edit bay report every week. He was like listing all the people after the penultimate episode and going like how big of a shot they had. He had Cassie at the top, then Jesse, then Owen as like the underdog story. Then like Carla's out, but like if she can survive Final 5, like she could get there and potentially win. And then it was like 0 chance Gabler. And it was just like, even the people that are like, they're paid to analyze this show, like ruled him out. It's just like, I don't know. It just baffles me. It just baffles me.
Ethan messaged me this morning, and he was like, "Who do you got tonight?" And actually, let me. I don't mind reading reading text messages. I shouldn't. So he goes, "Who do you have as your final 3? Jesse, Gabler, and Cassidy?" And I said, "I got Jesse, Gabler, and Owen." He goes, "Really?" And he goes, Jesse can't beat Carla, probably beats Cassidy, but he easily beats Gabler and Owen. And he was like, so you think Jesse wins? I'm like, Jesse beats any of them. He goes, not Carla. Carla should win.
Wow.
These are 2 of the greatest players in the history of Survivor, folks. Whether you agree with that statement or not, it's a freaking fact. If you want to, me and Ethan Zahn will play against you all day long. And guess what? Unless Adam Klein's there, we both beat you. Because it's not like Adam Klein's going to win. He's just going to ruin our game.
I just, Gabler, like he's mentally losing it, and he's eating this little bit of coconut while Owen and Cassidy are feasting. Carla and Jesse are talking. You know, they know that they're the 2 top threats in the game, and Jesse's like says here, like, I do not want to have to make fire. Now, I don't know if Jesse did not practice making fire at home prior to going out.
A lot of people don't. I don't get it. But a lot of people
don't.
But
I've heard people who have, and they're like, it doesn't. And like, I want to say I heard people who did fire making lost it, who said, I did practice at home, but because of like the different elements, it doesn't.
Didn't Janet lose at fire?
No, she got
idol nullified.
I don't know. Okay, because she's the fire master.
Oh no, that's why they got her out at 5 and gave Detective Dean a idol nullifier at Final 5.
Okay, I knew it was something. So yeah, no, Janet, 2 glasses of wine in, I beat Janet at fire. However, no wine involved. Janet makes fire 9 seconds.
Oh yes,
Janet beats Gabler's record.
Well, we don't know if he got the record. Because they said the record was 5 minutes.
Yeah, they
popped
said
up on the screen when he got it.
4 minutes, 9 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got the record.
Shows how much I was paying attention.
Well, I mean, because you were just like, well, there's no way this idiot wins. I don't even need to
Oh
look.
no, I thought he beat Jesse at Fire Ring, but I was
No. You're just like they're like, but yeah, he beat Jesse. Like nothing else is gonna happen in this guy's pathetic.
No,
life.
like I was fully bought into the Cassidy story. Like they were making her such a hero in this episode, and they're like, I'm gonna send Gabler in there because Owen gets it. He gets to have more of a streak. He has the immunity wins, and this has the underdog story. Gabler was just there.
Yeah.
So him beating someone at Fire
doesn't really count.
No, and I also hate the fact that these people are saying that she should have went and made Fire. Why?
No, God, no.
Why?
Yeah, that's be a dumb decision.
No, yeah, no.
And then like holding it against her for not doing it. I'm like, why would I take away guaranteed shot?
Yeah, we'll get. I mean, yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
So, we see Carla trying scare Texas with Cassidy, and it's time for tribal, and right out of the gate, we see Jesse pulls out the idol. He's just like, he goes, look, Owen's safe and I'm safe. And he pulls, and Janine literally says, is that my bracelet?
Yes.
And it's like, yes, it is, Janine. And she is
devastated,
dumbfounded, mortified, stupefied, and petrified.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It was a moment.
It was.
And like, it took her a little time to process, but I think Jesse won her over with that. Like I think at first there was just this, it's just like, I should still be in this game because that was mine. And and it wasn't told, but I think once all that process, she was just like, man, that guy is good.
Yeah.
And no one knew. So, but it took a minute. It was not an immediate, wow, well played, sir. It was, no, I'd be right there right now if I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a moment, and and Jesse's just like, he's like, hey, I'm here, but if anybody wants to talk, and Carla, I love Carla. So
she's fantastic.
My favorite two players this season by far, no contest, are Jesse and Carla. And when Carla says, "Would you like to dance?" I'm just like, dance, girl, dance, do the robot.
See, I was like a little mad at first when it was like, oh, they're getting up and they're doing it, but the preamble to it was just there was just like so much taste to it. It was just like, okay, this is where iconic players get to have some fun. Even if it means nothing, you get to have some fun. The only thing I'll hold against her is because we'll need to hear her in an exit or a deep dive. Like, I want to know if she actually poisoned this jury against Cassidy. Like, if she actually followed through with, I'm not going to let you have any ownership over anything that we did as a group.
I feel like she ended up in the Jonny Fairplay spot of poison, like I poisoned the jury against Lil.
Lil shouldn't have even needed to be poisoned against.
Yeah, and Rob C did the same thing against Matt for Jenna.
Mm-hmm. Well, as much as I hate a live tribal, like I didn't mind this little.
Nah, it wasn't a live tribal.
Yeah, right.
Like it was live, but not live. But here, let's do it in this sense. Knowing that Jesse goes out at 4. Say, I guess ultimately he made the right call because Carla voted for him.
Yeah.
But if he was able to get her to buy in, because we've seen last vote, she was able to buy into his and Cody's original plan.
Yeah.
Like, I think the move was, he was right. Like, the move was take out Cassidy at 5.
Yeah.
And then, like, either he's going against Carla and maybe he has a better shot against Carla at Fire.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows who even wins that because everyone else was falling.
Yeah.
I still don't think Jesse wins that final immunity.
Oh, no. He I love Jesse.
Yeah.
Survivor challenges are not his thing.
Hey, guess who else never won an immunity challenge?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need, like, the physical game. And I think this is something that people should really start realizing now. Like, the physical game's not being rewarded.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if you win immunities. So it's like, you can win one if you absolutely need it, but don't expect it to be something that you can hold on to. Like, as much as Jeff wants it to be a part of the game of Finals Tribal, it means nothing. Noel put more interest in Fire than the challenges.
Yeah, and if you put it on your resume, I'm punching you in the face because you said resume.
Oh,
Well,
well,
Carla goes out to hero music because apparently from like Final 8 on, everyone got hero music as they got voted out.
Yes, and Carla wrote Jesse's name just to ruin his perfect record of no votes against him.
That was funny. That was funny.
That was.
That was such a cool moment though between those two because it was like the two titans of the season, and they're like, it was like respect game, but you have to do me like that. You have to do me like that.
Of course.
Come on.
Of course. So, but if you want to do yourself a solid, here you go. Support for Reality After Show is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with its exclusive offer for you. That's right, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. If my math's correct, that's about 12 million balls.
The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, is it a game changer. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies.
First off, the Lawnmower 4.0, this trimmer is the future of grooming, and dare I say, the greatest ball trimmer ever.
Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to help reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and has a 4000K LED spotlight that you need for a more precise shave.
Now, I have a dark shower curtain in my bathroom, and I've been looking for the perfect way to shave in the dark, kinda. Guess what? I found it. 4000K LED. No longer a problem. I got perfectly smooth, clean balls thanks to the Lawnmower 4.0.
It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code SURVIVOR. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Thanks for sticking with us through the ad break. And don't forget, for more exclusive Reality After Show coverage, visit realitypatron.com. That's reality, Patron.com.
So we are at day 25 now, final immunity challenge. This challenge is you have a long fork and you got to stack bowls after going through this little structure that's balanced on like a little spring mechanism. And you have to stack 15 bowls. First person to get it wins. How do you think you would do in this specific challenge, Dan and Alex?
Terrible.
I think I would do well in it.
I think it comes down to as you're getting it through, you can't hit the structure, and it's with I have shaky hands. Like I
have shaky hands, but the way that the pole is, I feel like it's not that hard to manage. And I think being a small,
You're good at managing your pole after you manscape. Promo code SURVIVOR.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
But I think this type of competition primarily is better for someone who's leaner and shorter. Despite you like having to reach over, having less weight about you and less muscle around you when it comes to maneuvering through it, because I think that's an issue that a lot of the men who do this competition have.
Yeah.
It's because they are bigger. Like you can only
no, Jonny Fairplay 2003 was 113 pounds at this point. I'm perfect.
Well, you are an exception to the rule.
Thank you.
But yeah, I like this as a last kind of challenge because you know somebody's going to drop the shit as we see Owen drops it all. And then he just like kind of gives up.
He broke his fork.
Yeah, he did.
He did break his fork.
So yeah.
Gabler's like just begrudgingly being a curmudgeon like after he lost his.
I know. It's wild because
at winner at it.
She's crying. She's proud. She says this is beyond description. Like this is indescribable. She's so happy because like she's dreamed about this moment. She is here when it really matters. Now she has such a huge decision to make. This would be pretty stressful, kind of trying to figure out what to do, I think.
She did make a mistake, I realize.
What's that?
She said this could be $1 million necklace. You're not allowed to ever say
Yeah,
$1 million.
She jinxed herself.
Johnny, you know this.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah, so when it comes to the fire choice, and I know that
Well,
I know this fire mission is-
they do have practice supplies, which I think is nice. So
Yes.
we've seen people practice in previous seasons, especially when the beast was invented to keep Ben in the game, and we watched Devin sleep instead of practice fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I do it in my sleep.
So
But then we saw Gabler semi-practice, and then he had to take a nap because it was too much for him.
yeah. I mean, Owen says his best chance is to go to fire and win, to prove to the jury that he's not just kind of, riding easy and not really doing much.
Then,
Owen,
then Jesse says he's never won immunity. I'm like, same. Welcome to the club.
yeah. So Jesse knows he's going to fire, so he's off trying to make fire and practice and stuff like that. And then he ends up pitching to Cassidy, "Hey, give up your immunity." And just kind of like, didn't Chris Underwood do that?
That's the thing. It's like Chris Underwood did it, and Natalie, even though she should have had zero chance to win the game, was criticized. Like, she would have won the game if she went to fire against Tony.
Yeah,
and gave up her immunity.
Well, I mean, Chris Underwood did it because Ron Clark and everyone on Edge of Extinction said, if you want our vote, this is what you have to do.
Yes. Okay. So what wasn't explained to the audience on that episode, which made it very unsatisfying for a lot of people that watched it, but if you understood all this, you probably would have appreciated it. I don't know why I didn't show it. Is whoever got voted back from the Edge of Extinction was a vessel and a representative of everyone on Extinction. So whoever it was, it could have been David, whoever was there, anyone that came back to the game. If they came back and they went to Kelly and Lauren and talked to her out of the idol and said that it's just like, hey, Kelly said that she gave it to you, blah blah blah. If you did that, if you challenge fire, if you won the final immunity, if you challenge fire, if you do all these things, sure, it's BS that someone from here ends. If you do all these things, we collectively will give you our vote, and that's what happened. And right before season 8 went out there to play, they watched. They were not allowed to leave their room to go play, and they watched that finale. They watched live that night and left that night after watching the finale in their room because Jeff wanted them all to see and wanted to put in their heads that this meant so much. And even though they didn't know the context behind any of it, and then they left in the middle of the night that night to get on the plane, and then it was in their heads that this obviously means something to give up immunity and do that crap, which was BS.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think the fire making, do you think this is BS?
Garbage?
Here's the biggest thing. We on our hat, they had Chanel from 42 on one of their recaps, and Chanel said it was like when we're out there right now in the current makeup of the game, if you start with zero food, you don't start with rice, and you're not fishing, or you don't prefer to fish, for the most part, there's no reason for them to make fire. So most of 42, they didn't have fire. Fire doesn't have the same impact in this game and in this period of Survivor than it did in the past. It did.
Yes.
This isn't season 2.
Yeah, she said they went 9 days.
Yeah.
Without fire or food.
You don't have to boil water. You have a well. Yeah. If you're not eating fish or rice,
you're eating coconut or papayas or So so they're not starving, and fire does not represent life in the new version of Survivor, because you're only
represented in the metaphorical sense. But it's I just feel it's this old, like you said, it was an old school element that was made so that someone like Ben could get to the end.
Yeah, and had to do it again to show that they didn't just do it to keep Ben in the game.
But
and it's just okay, it's been long enough. We get it. You didn't do it just to keep in the game, but you did. You got it, and you proved your point by having it overlast. It's original.
Like I just feel like this is also like Jeff's like thing of like I want people to still believe that this is a survival based show when this isn't what like Survivor's the name of the game. It's not a survival based show,
no.
especially if you're using the same location for
Yeah,
a decade.
I'm tired of the
That's
same location.
That's why I watch Naked and Afraid XL, because it's surviving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the next Australia
not.
season, while they were in Australia the last 2 seasons, the next one's in Samoa.
Well, Jesse does a confessional where he gets super emotional. Like, look, this is my last chance. Like, I have to win this. He's definitely distraught because you can see at one point you would see confidence in Jesse's gameplay, and then it's
This
starting
is a
to make
psycho
him
cry.
tremble.
This is a psycho cry.
Yeah.
Like, not in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw him as a dad going, you know, like, look, I might make $1 million one day, and I might make $1 million collectively, but this is really my one chance at $1 million for my family.
And
Right.
like,
And
yeah,
I loved it.
and it's true because let's be real. I love Jesse. If he gets brought back for a returning season, he's gonna be looked at in a like, let's say they do like an all-star style season, like similar to season 8. He's gonna be looked at like a winner, even though he didn't win. That's because that's the impact that he had on this season.
Oh yeah.
And who's gonna want the winner or the person who people believe should have won the game to do well?
Yeah, I actually texted it tonight. I said, I'm proud of you, and legend status is better than a win for some of us.
Would love to get him on the podcast if CBS allows anything.
Maybe I'll text him. maybe we'll
have a special guest on soon, folks.
Yeah, maybe I'll just press record while we're at WWE Holiday Tour the 28th during the dark matches. We're watching Mandy Rose's replacement. It'd be great. Oof. Oof. All right, so it's time for Tribal, and Jeff's like, hey, like, you know, Cassie, you got a tough decision. You know, who to save, who to put up fire. You know, did anyone make a pitch? And Jess goes, yeah, I made a hard sell. And goes, how did that go over? And the correct answer, Cassidy and Jesse, is like a fart in church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So comedy's hard, folks.
Yeah, but it's
There
like
we go.
I would laugh if I have a
Matt.
cough. That gets triggered by laughing.
Oh God! I'm laughing when when one of Johnny's making fun of his own jokes. It's great.
But like this is where you know this like twist in the game is broken when everyone's raising their hand going, I want to do fire.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
No.
The point should be you do fire, but how it was always and should always be. You do
Like a
fire
last
when
resort.
there's no other options.
2-2 tie.
You are in a deadlocked vote. You're not changing your votes. We're putting you to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like screw the rocks. I don't even need rocks. Like that should just always be a thing. If it's 2 people specifically getting votes, send them to fire.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Gabler, the fire making goes between Gabler and Jesse, and they kind of had a minute to like really focus and look at their materials before they got into the physical part of making the fire. And
Well, now we got a commercial break, Matt.
yeah, but I think Jesse looked like a deer in headlights. He looked like he already lost, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I thought so
And
too.
I was like, this is not going to be good.
He went into the it's when you go into the fight. Oh, sorry, I'm about to do analogies like about tribal. But it's like you go into the fight knowing you're losing.
Yeah.
So like you don't even give yourself like the pump up to believe that you can win. Like you're saying you can win. You're saying you're going to go and do it. I've been making fire all day. You can see it in the look in that fighter's eyes if they're in to actually play the game.
Jesse was already done.
Yeah, I did
Defeated.
sleep boxing against Lindsay Lohan's dad, Michael Lohan, And Michael Lohan is a brown belt in karate because if you're a black belt and you get assault charges, it's a felony. So he's like, I'm a brown belt. So he didn't show up at the weigh-ins because they wouldn't have even allowed us to fight. Because I at the time, I think I was weighing 135 and he was weighing 195. 60-pound weight advantage. And so we were about, so like I'm training, I'm eating raw eggs. I'm sponsored by Everlast. I have a beautiful ring gear and gloves and this punching thing. And I'm practicing and I'm sparring with people. And the second we're in there and I look across, I'm just like, all right, I don't really like my chances here. And that first punch, I'm just like, I know I've lost, but how hurt am I gonna be? And am I gonna die?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that was Jesse with these sticks and Flint.
Right.
I was devastated for him. I really was.
Yeah.
When he got his little fire, I would be like frantically trying to get the fire going.
His hands were working twice as hard as it was against the Flint. Like his hands were not cooperating.
No.
So, and I don't know what Jeff was watching. It's like, Jeff, whatever Jesse's behind, you can never tell because he's so stoic. And I'm just like, what are you looking at?
I'm just surprised he didn't say, because he loves saying it these last 3 episodes. Just a reminder, jury. Jesse has never won individual.
Oh, so there's no chance here. So, and of course, Jeff doesn't have the low hanging fruit of the greatest line ever when it comes to fair is, it's the fire's licking the fire's licking the rope.
Yeah, dude.
He never says it.
He doesn't have the accent to pull it.
He should do the fake accent. He's been doing fake accents all season. He's been acting weird every episode.
Yeah, I prefer anything that avoids that with him.
Well, so do I, but we've gotten one an episode. I figured the fire's licking the rope would have been perfect right here.
Bring me either of the other hosts to do this job.
Well,
imagine JLP in Jeff's position, not just host, but being able to be like an actual legitimate showrunner.
Jonathan's the best, but I will say when Jesse is devastated, and
I think JLP would have taken over the final jury questions and be like, no, y'all are not asking the questions right.
Well, I also think some of them may have been more stricter with this jury, because the fact that like a jury member would ask a question and then before the finalists would get to speak, another jury member would answer for them.
Yeah.
They were. It happened a lot, especially for Owen and Cassidy.
Oh yeah. Well, and Gabler, had like eight word answers at best.
I had to lay low.
Gabler. Hiding in sight.
I was hiding in plain sight. I had to lie low. If I stayed up, I was toast.
Yeah.
Ellie vote.
I was actually, though, honestly impressed with how all three did at.
Oh yeah,
like the final deal. The jurors, I was kind of impressed with, and I was impressed that I thought Gabler and Ohm were gonna totally suck with answers, and they weren't. I was like, you know what? If they haven't made their mind up, they are making pretty good pitches and being honest.
Who hasn't made their mind up on the final?
I will make a case that I feel of all of them, maybe Janine. Janine sort of says it in her, because we do get the jury speaks, which I do enjoy that they do give that now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Janine did, she very, highlighted what they end up showing in the final tribal. She's like, I just need Gabler to, tell me that what he was doing made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll most likely lean that way. So, okay, so we have a final tribal. A lot of questions. Truly, they don't mean anything because they went in predetermined with what they wanted to do. Apparently, the Ride or Die Alliance was this huge thing that they decided to only talk about one time in its creation to take out Ryan. But they never really speak of it ever again.
Did they name it back then?
Yeah.
See,
I
didn't-
remembered it. I remembered them like
Okay.
referencing it. But to a casual viewer, if they heard
and I'm
Ride or
not a
Die,
casual viewer.
no, and I'm saying like for majority of the people who do watch, when they keep saying Ride or Die, they're gonna be like, who? And you have to just go based off the context of them pointing it towards Jesse and Cody.
I kept waiting for it because he was just like, that was with the Ride or Die. I'm like, who's the Ride or Die? Like, if I'm asking that question and I do live viewing parties across the country, watch the episode, then come back home, watch the episode a second time, and then do a podcast about it. I didn't know what Ride or Die meant.
Yeah.
And
who knows what Ride or Die? They did a very ineffective job of explaining Ride or Die Alliance, and I felt that was the entire reason for this vote.
And like, so let's go for the votes. I think James was like, I'm not gonna go with groupthink. I'm gonna go vote how I truly believe deserves to win. I played with Cassidy. We played a similar game. She did better than me. She gets my vote. And he was, I think, one of the few people who didn't vote in like a very bitter way. Cody makes no Cody. I get it. I guess you could say the one confessional before he gets booted, where he talks about how much he enjoys Gabler, like a couple episodes back. I'm like, okay, so he likes Gabler. He's going to give Gabler his Ride or Die Alliance. Jesse is between that and also for some reason Cassie not going to fire against him.
Mm-hmm.
Noelle is definitely just purely will Gabler beat Jesse at fire. And as an athlete, like, I have to respect when someone beats the top competition in the field of battle. So I love Noelle, but I don't respect that vote, or if that's what dictated it. Ryan, it's because I bond with Gabler over fishing. It's purely just as much as that.
He's all ears.
He's all ears.
Literally.
And then Janine, I think Janine and Sammy, I think they both ultimately wanted to vote for someone from their original group, and they felt more willing to vote for Gabler. I think Janine had respect for Gabler's game, respected how he answered his questions. I think Sammy worked better with Gabler throughout the game and was more side and side with him until he got voted out than he was with Owen.
There you go.
I'm shocked.
If you like your comment read, just super chat it. It would pain me to say those words out loud.
But and one last thing before I let you go, Matt. The one thing that I'm still tripping up on is all season we were getting told how Cassie is a threat. And I do purely believe that a lot of it, especially from Cody, was I just watched 41 and most of 42, and the women dominated, and it was the smaller women. So I'm definitely afraid of people like Cassidy. Mm-hmm. But yet when the time comes where she beats you, she gets to the end, you don't vote for the person that you've been claiming threat.
Yeah. That was garbage.
So obviously we all are fans of Survivor. We like the strategic gameplay, the players like Jesse and Carla and so forth.
They don't win.
I'm just wondering, like, is it a
Jesse would have won? Jesse's in the final three.
If he gets there, I'm saying it's
wins.
Very hard for them to get there.
But I'm just saying, like, do you think that the casual viewer and like if my mom's watching, are they really thrilled that Gabler is winning the game? Is this showing to the people wanting to apply for Survivor that, look, you don't have to be a super strategy player. You don't have to even win challenges or what, you can just be this Gabler. Do you think it's going to help or hurt Survivor game as a whole?
I think let's look at the three winners that we just had. I think it hurts Survivor editing that these people are winning the game. Mm-hmm. But it's been the effective tool to play a passive game. Yeah. Playing a passive game gets you to the end now and gets you an opportunity to win because you're playing passive but being likable. But they can't show being likable on television for some reason.
Honestly, like, as far as network numbers, this is the lowest rate season in the history of Survivor. but it's not just Survivor. It's TV as
It's
a
everything.
whole. The numbers are immensely lower. So not being it, on like it's just lower. Numbers are lower. So, but still, it's not like they got that awesome demo. They got a bunch of old white people that watch this show. I mean, like they're the same people that at 5:00 put on Andy Griffith. At 6:00, it's the CBS News that they've watched for 40 years now. And then whatever comes on at 8:00 is on. And at 10:00 or 9:30, they turn off their TV.
Mhm.
That's who watches CBS and who watches this show. So I think those people are loving that the old white guy won.
Yeah.
And especially if he's giving the money to veterans. They're like,
Oh,
it
yeah,
better be
right.
the good veterans, not the bad veterans.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd also like to
different.
claim that I think some of this can also show that they don't just vote, put all the people who vote the same on the show. I don't believe that casts all votes the same or leans the same way at all
This season?
this season.
No,
I would make a case it's pretty split.
I think this season would be split. I think the last two seasons were very close.
Oh
to
yes.
unanimous voting strategies.
But again, I think that goes to your point though of what makes, even though like numbers are numbers, and I get that's important in some regard, but like you said, numbers are down across the board, so you can't just claim Survivor's failing when you look at every single one of the show.
No, and they'll get their numbers back with the younger demo on stream, like maybe not necessarily Paramount Plus, but
Maybe
if this
Netflix.
goes on Netflix. This goes on
Yeah,
Netflix.
Token
But
Cheese is
Paramount
going
Plus,
on there.
Paramount Plus, like I mean, they're adding the, I don't know how cool Beavis and Butthead is. I mean, I know me and Matt are literally Beavis and Butthead grown up, but so they do have the challenge All Stars and these things, but it's not like they have the challenge like Paramount Plus. Put the challenge on Paramount Plus. Put Australian Survivor on Paramount Plus, or put it back on Paramount Plus.
Put
Yeah.
South
So,
African Survivor on.
Back, that was on too.
Yeah.
Put that back on. Like this platform is the only reason I own Paramount Plus is for like I no longer have DirecTV. I no longer have cable. I've cord because I don't watch anything else but reality television. But the only reason I have Paramount Plus is for Survivor. If I was not watching Survivor, I would not have your streaming service. It's boring. It's for old people. It sucks. Make it better.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
But I congrats if you win. It
you
was
win, you
nice-
win. Hey,
You
you win. Bitter, like if they were bitter or not bitter, it doesn't matter. Like ultimately, it's on you to gain their votes. You got their votes, so like good for you. Good for the troops, I guess. Who just got around $1 million, give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Jonny
interesting.
Fairplay
It's
get some money.
interesting.
Oh, here we go. Catherine Allen. Johnny is 100% correct. Alex, you are on point too. Thank you for the super chat, Catherine Allen.
I try to be.
So
What is a super chat?
It's when they
super
pay.
chat. Yeah, you can pay to have your comment read.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, I
All right.
never have seen this before.
I'm sorry. I've been doing the Friday podcast with Wayne Memmitt, stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Be careful,
We don't-
Johnny. Be careful of what you're getting paid for. You might get fired by WWE at a moment's notice.
You never know.
And
So,
lose your
but
title.
speaking for paying for something, I got 2 eBay auctions going right now. I have a signed Carla and Jesse 43 merge buff, and then I have a Jesse merge buff. Both eBay auctions are on eBay right now. Go to my Twitter or Facebook at Jonny Fairplay, no H in Johnny. And the Jesse and Carla buff end like 22 hours. I just did a 1-day auction, and then the other one's going the Jesse sign is going 1 week, and so that'll end next Wednesday night. So get yourself either a Jesse and Carla buff or a Jesse buff. 2 of the best players that played this season that did not win the game, and it did not matter. They didn't win the game. They were 2 of the best players that played the season.
And more likely to get a call back than the winner.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see Gabler again. Even only under a winner. There's no way they do another winners. All winners.
They will not. I can't. I shouldn't say I can't see them doing another 40 seasons because I will always enjoy this show and will watch it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this cast, like, and I think I said this for 42, but I believe it more with this cast. There's so much more meat on the bone with this cast to want to bring them back. Like, there's some, like, you bring Jesse back, you bring Carla back. I would bring
Noel.
I would bring Noel back. I would bring
Cody.
Cassie back. Cody would be brought back. They love him.
Oh yeah, Cody. Yeah, you got 4 people right there.
I think I listed 5. Like Cody, Jesse, Carla, Cassidy. I feel there's someone in the.
I'm not bringing back Cassidy.
Noel. What?
I'm not bringing back
I
Cassidy.
think they would. I think they would bring her back. I think she is a good. Like, this is why I also think she would have been a good winner. Is she's a good.
I mean, I liked
show.
her. I like her, but like, I feel like they kind of buried her at the end. I mean, I guess it was. It was
and I want to mention one thing. What was going on with her hair?
I don't know.
Her hair was totally frizzed out like static electricity. It was like distracting me.
Even Sandra was just like, she goes, girl, you killed that immunity, but I keep finding myself patting my hair down, looking at you. Like Sandra.
Yeah. I was like, what in the world? You would think that they, like, production would have looked at the camera and been like, pause.
Yeah.
Let's have wardrobe come in and fix it. Because I don't care. But I imagine, like, if she's watching herself, she's probably like, oh, this is kind of embarrassing. My hair, like, frizzed out like this.
I don't think they loved Cassidy.
Well,
I
feel
did,
like I still feel like overall there's more story to tell with her. And also they brought Haley Ford back for Game Changers.
That still well,
yeah,
okay.
That was crazy.
This is back. No, this is the old days of casting. So the old days of casting on a returning season were very simple. You found the greatest male player available, and you would cast them. And then you there's the bingo thing with the just random names and the little roller thing. And if you're a female, they just grab them and Haley Ford.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they used to cast. But we have new casting now.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm excited to actually go back and see the preview for season 44. I think someone said
3 tribes, Matt.
Yeah, 3 tribes. But there's a bird cage this time. We know that.
Oh yeah, there's a bird cage. There's 3 tribes in the bird cage.
I forgot about the bird cage.
Yeah, they're in the bird cage. That's their that's their bunker.
This has been a fun season podcasting. Alex and Dan and I have done a lot of stuff without Fairplay when he's at his viewing parties. So we've been able to give you 2 podcasts as Jonny will go back, like you said, and do another one. So you've been getting 2 podcasts for those that want to see Jonny's take versus all of our other takes. And I was entertained. I thought the finale was great. I'm still shocked. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be like, who won Survivor last night? Gabler, I'm going to like pinch myself. Like, am I living in a dream?
Wait, now you're saying it right?
God, Gabler, But yeah, seriously, thank you for sticking around on the ride. That was Survivor season 43. We'll be back in March for 44 coverage, and Jonny is going to be doing tons of viewing parties with Sandra Diaz Klein.
The Queen, every single viewing party. I got the Queen with me. Go to survivortix.com. They'll be up as soon as we lock them in. I'm going to be locking them in January. So go ahead and start looking for tickets there. And in the off season, we'll have we got confirmation on Celebrity Big Brother yet or not yet?
They're not doing it this time.
Okay, so no Celebrity Big Brother, but we will be continuing our coverage of the challenge. And
because that never ends.
that never ends, no matter how many times you click your heels. And we will be doing interviews with guests, with the contestants from this season, based on permission from CBS. And if they say no, then we'll finally go back and get 41 and 42 people on about it. because I think 41 people are out of their contract by now. so that'll be
that's
great.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, look for coverage every week. We look forward to doing it. And then go bid on those buffs and get yourself a signed buff, either Jesse or Jesse and Carla. Just check out. I think it's just go to my Twitter. It's at Jonny Fairplay or my Facebook.com/Jonny Fairplay. Don't send me a friend request. I got too many sitting there. I won't see it. But you can follow me. And I might be back. You never know. So, but yeah, this has been a very fun season, and you guys really kick some butt, because I purposely don't listen to other Survivor podcasts because I don't want to be influenced. But after the podcast that I have been doing with Wayne Mehmet, who really kicked some butt this season, I went back and listened to you guys, and holy moly, if that's not the best Survivor podcast that I heard, it's the only one, but one of the best Survivor podcasts I've ever heard. I thought you guys were really, like, it was fun every single week. You guys home runs week after week after week. It was really cool. Now, I've listened to Survivor podcasts in the past, so I can base a comparison to that. So
Yes.
you guys really kick butt. I like it's amazing, like how great you guys are. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem,
Thank you.
man. And Dan, Alex, Johnny, it's it's
Oh, yeah.
been a fun run.
Australian Survivor in January. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
The Joker.
Yeah. So and if you need links, go to realitypatron.com. We'll have links for the episode after each episode comes out. So yeah, if you're looking for a reason to become a patron, boom, get your autograph picks of some of your favorite survivors. You know what? Screw it. January picks. Go, the King George autograph pick will be in the January picks. Boom, you heard it here first. Become a patron right now. Go to realitypatron.com and get your links to Australian Survivor and then our awesome podcast. I think we're going to do a weekly podcast. It's going to be great, just like last season.
Right on. Well, until next time, we love you, and we'll see you guys very soon. Cheers, everyone.
And for more bonus content, go to realitypatron.com. That's right, become a patron now. Get additional coverage of all your favorite shows, the weekly Q&A, and you become a member of the secret, exclusive Facebook group. That's realitypatron.com.